Severance Season 2, Episode 8. This is my second video where I'd like to focus on the significance of Cobel's breathing tube. She has her mother, Charlotte Cobel's breathing tube, and she's been carrying this around with her for years, since her mother passed away. Harmony Cobel went away to school when she was 12 years old. She is filled with anger and rage and guilt for not being there when her mother passed away. Now, let's get into it. In this video, I am going to reflect on how symbolism is used to demonstrate Harmony Cobel's feelings about her mother's death and her anger at Lumen. We see Harmony in her car traveling to Salt's Neck. The beautiful views of the mountains and the water shows what the area looked like at one time, but it has been decimated by Lumen's use of the land. Lumen took a thriving ether industry with them. The town, it is dilapidated. Those that are left are poor and sick from the ether fumes from the factory. Maybe this reflects who Harmony was. A sweet, beautiful girl who went away to school, was indoctrinated into the Kier cult, and it shaped her into who she is today. Having her invention stolen from her made her feel extremely insignificant. What once flourished in her died. Aunt Sissy actually said to her, "You were a flower, and now you are a weed." And yes, it was a very nasty thing that she said, but it also is very appropriate to what actually happened to Harmony. She did become a weed. She was a beautiful flower, and Lumen did that to her. So if we contrast the beautiful landscape with Harmony, we can see a correlation. We also see her brushing her teeth. Now, this could be construed as she's washing out the dirt in her mouth, the germs, the infiltration of Kier and Lumen in her. And while she's doing that, she's looking at a homeless man who was bagging ether right in front of her. And she continues to brush her teeth and then spit out her toothpaste and throw her water bottle haphazardly into the snow, violating the beauty of what Salt Creek once was. She too is violating it, littering, throwing that water bottle on the street. So this shows us where Harmony is at. Her feelings about herself, self-deprecation, self-hatred. So next we see her traveling through the dilapidated town, and she goes to Aunt Sissy's house to confront her. Aunt Sissy is very nasty and treats her terribly. But when she gets inside her mother's room, the key to this episode, she attaches the breathing tube that she's been carrying around with her all these years, attaches it to the machine. She lies on the bed and she puts the tube in her mouth and cries and feels the grief for the very first time. But what's interesting about it is, upon closer inspection, and this is a very Freudian approach, but you could say she's suckling. She's suckling on her mother's breast. She is looking for that connection with her mother, that nurturing that she hasn't gotten in such a long time, because I think her mother was sick from when Harmony was very young, and her Aunt Sissy basically raised her. And Aunt Sissy was a very tough lady. She was not a nurturer by any means. So Harmony really missed out on that. So by seeing her laying on that bed and suckling on that breathing tube shows her need to connect with her mother. It shows how lost and alone she feels. And again, a very Freudian concept of oral fixation. So first we see Harmony brushing her teeth, and then we see her suckling on that breathing tube. It's a form of bonding and connecting. The dirt that she was brushing out of her mouth was what Lumen did to her. They contaminated her. And her hooking up that breathing tube and suckling it like it was her mother's breast healed her. To do so, she also had to confront Aunt Sissy, which she did. And she triumphed. So this episode showed us how Cobel was able to raise herself up, to become the person she always wanted to be, to take back her power from Lumen, and now she is going back to confront them and to claim what is rightfully hers. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Harmony is healed at this point? Do you think by going back and confronting her guilt and the trauma that she experienced, she is now free to move on with her life? I'd be very interested to hear your comments. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.